We are ready to go live. We are live. Welcome, one and all. Rob here, along with
Anthony from Bleacher Bums Gaming.
And I was just bringing it up to you a couple minutes ago. I said something about I looked on the website, tried to get the football. And any news when they're going to have some more back out? Any idea?
No, it actually was the first I heard about it, and it's probably because he just released an official 1980 NFL team set. So I know a lot of people were looking forward to that. So the probably spiked sales for him, and he sold out. Because I don't know how he does it, but like with me, I'll keep 10 to 12 copies of the boxing game ready at all times.
Yeah.
And if I get a spike in sales, sometimes I'll have a delay because I have to wait for the printer. So that could be the case.
Do you ever see like a spike actually when we show it off or something? Like, does that help, or do you just think it happens mostly at Christmas and holidays?
It actually has at times. I think a lot of the regular viewers on the channel, if we're going to get the game, have it. So not so much now, but that definitely over the course of time has made a difference. And I'll get spikes in the game sales around the time I release a new set too, when people see the new set.
Oh, right. Well, I tell you what, I'm definitely getting that game, and I want the Power 5 conferences. That's what I want, the Power 5 conferences. And I'm telling you, I'm gonna play, dude. I'm telling you, you're gonna get sick of my channel with that, because I am going to be playing ACC game of the week, Pac-12 game of the week, Big Ten game of the week. Oh man, I can't wait.
I'm still rating college teams. So when you do get the game, when it's back in stock, let me know and I'll send what I have to you.
All right, sounds good.
I think I'm going to put up a Clemson Oklahoma game tomorrow.
All right, Clemson who?
Oklahoma.
Oh, okay. I thought I'd love to see Virginia Tech game if you get that out, or if you want to go East Coast, Clemson and Ohio State. That'd probably be a good one too. That'd probably be a fun one to watch.
No, I'm a Virginia fan now because they have BYU's old coach who I like a lot.
Oh yeah, Mendenhall.
Yeah. I got to interact with him a couple of times at clinics, and I went to their spring practices one year. He's a nice guy. His personality to the fans comes off kind of dull, but when you talk to him away from that, he's a really great guy. Great guy. Oh, great coach.
Awesome. All right, let's get going here. Let's rock it tonight. We're gonna stay here about an hour, guys. So we're not gonna hold you much past your dinner time, or if you got something prime time to watch on the East Coast. You say your top 5. Let's go on the offensive side of the football. Your top 5 quarterbacks that are coming out this year. How did you rate 1 to 5?
First, hey, what's up, Darius? Yeah, I will do. I've got BYU rated, so I'll do UCF as well. If you want to see that, definitely. So quarterbacks, and that's actually the position I look at probably the closest because I coach quarterbacks as well as secondary. So yeah, I've watched a lot of film on all the guys in my top 5, with the exception really of Trey Lance, because he just doesn't have a lot of film out there.
Exactly. He didn't play that many games.
But my top 5, I'll go from 5 to 1. So
okay.
5, I've got Trey Lance, and it's probably a little bit different than a lot of people have, but I just don't think he has a sample size. And North Dakota State is a power FCS program. One of my old players from Westview went there and played corner, Jordan Champion. He's got 5 rings from his time there. So, they got a legit football program, but I just would like to see more. He's raw. He's a little slow in his decision-making. So the reason I put him at 5 is jumping. It's like high school to college, college to NFL. The game speeds up for the quarterback more than any other position. And I've coached some really good high school quarterbacks that could not make it next level. And so that's the big fear I have for Lance is the speed of the game. And I think an ideal situation for him would probably to go to a team like Atlanta. And a couple of mock drafts have him going there, but he could, kind of mentor under Matty Ice for a season or two. And that would give him the best chance to succeed. If he goes to a team and they throw him in early this year, I think it could be a rough season for him.
Yeah, I agree.
But anyway, too much time on him. Mac Jones 4, and that might be surprise. I think the reason I put Mac Jones 4, he is kind of like a Joe Burrow light to me. He's not going to be at Burrow's level, but he understands the game really well. He played high-level Alabama, high-level competition, and his senior season, his accuracy, his reads were very solid. So he's my number 4. Justin Fields, I've got at number 3. And the thing, he's got all the tools. He's a great athlete, cannon of an arm. He has shown some inconsistency at times in his college career. He's either lights out, and then he'll have a game where in the Northwestern game, that first half, for example, they might have lost that game if they didn't have the running backs going that game. So I think there's still some holes in his game in terms of consistency. And he's another one I'll be interested to see how he picks up, the speed of the NFL game. I think he'll do fine. I just think he's no better higher than 3.
You're right.
2 is my boy from BYU, Zack Wilson. And a lot of people look at him as a flash in the pan because 2019 was not a very good season. But he came off shoulder surgery at the end of 2018. And as someone who's had both shoulders done, I can tell you it takes a year. I had my right shoulder done, my throwing shoulder, in December of 2019. I was not really throwing the football as good as I could before, probably until November of 2020. So you didn't see the real arm strength he had, and that caused him to throw into windows where normally he'd get away with it, and he didn't in 2019. 2020 is more a true picture of him. He understands the game very well. He goes through his reads as quick as any college quarterback I've seen probably in the last 3 or 4 seasons. Very quick through the reads, can move in the pocket, can throw off platform, meaning on the run, weird arm angles. And that's where people compare him to Mahomes. I'm not saying he's not that good, but he's got some of those same traits. So he's my number 2.
And he's not 6'7" and from Clemson, like.
Yeah. And the other thing with Wilson, I think they exaggerate. They list him as 6'2", 215. I think he's probably more like 6'1" and 205. So he's a little smaller. But, Russell Wilson, Drew Brees, he's still bigger than those guys.
And your number 1 is he's 6'6", isn't he?
He is 6'6" and comes from Clemson. Yeah. I mean, Lawrence has been kind of a protege. And Zach, I think, is going to turn people's heads if he goes to the right fit. I don't think the Jets are the right fit for him, but
and in a few minutes, I've actually got my first round picks all the way through, and I think a lot of people are going to be really surprised at some of the picks I've got for them. And I would flip a little of those. I don't hate on BYU at all. But a lot of people are saying, look at who they played. And what do you say to people that say that to you?
That's they're looking at the wrong thing. I mean, first of all, any kid that gets a D1 scholarship offer in college is a good football player. Yeah, their level of competition is not Power 5. It's not their fault. They had 7 Power 5 teams scheduled before COVID, right?
Exactly.
What you need to look at, the windows he throws into. You need to look at the way he progresses. I mean, going through your reads isn't going to get any slower if you're playing a better team.
No.
So look at some of the throws he makes into windows. Look at how he progresses and how quickly he goes from read 1, 2, 3 to 4, and how decisive he is and how he can create space and time in the pocket. Those are the key things that really project how a quarterback translates to the next level. And he does those things as good as anyone, including Trevor Lawrence. He just doesn't have the measurables Trevor Lawrence has.
Right. He just doesn't have the size and the speed. I mean, Lawrence can run like an antelope. I mean, we've seen it.
Yeah, and Trevor Lawrence, he's been touted as the next GOAT since he was a freshman, and He's going to have some trip ups his first year.
He's going to have a lot of pressure on him too.
Oh yeah, and I think he's built for that. I think he'll handle that okay.
Yeah.
I think he's going to a good situation in Jacksonville, and they've got good young talent, and they've got some money to spend and some draft picks. So, it's going to be it's not going to be a barn burner this year. But I would look at how Burrow did in Cincinnati. I would see a very actually more like, a Bear in San Diego. I would say a season similar for Trevor Lawrence.
You talking about Herbert, Justin Herbert?
Herbert, yeah.
Herbert, yeah.
Bear.
My only switch, I probably would switch 3 and 4. I really like Mac Jones. I'm a Mac Jones guy, and we talked from week 3 this year. Mac Jones was not even in the conversation in the first 2 rounds, and I was the biggest pusher for him all year long, and I really, really like this kid. If I would be hard pressed if I had a top 5 pick after those first 2 guys. I think I'd have to go with Jones. I believe I would anyway.
I'll say this: I think Mac Jones is a little bit more NFL ready right now than Justin Fields. I think Justin Fields has a higher upside.
Wow. Okay. I actually like Jones's upside even a little more. I actually like Jones's upside more than a couple other guys too. I think that I actually like him a little better than Burrow. I really do. I don't think he has the arm strength, but I like his reads and stuff better. And boy, oh boy, I tell you what, he can lay the ball in there. And I don't want to put the TB12 pressure on him, but he laid some balls in this year almost as well as Tom Brady did, has over the years. And just, I'm not going to say he doesn't remind me of Brady, but to me, he's just got that smooth release. And I like the way he does things. I really think he's going to be a top-notch pro, not just a pro.
No, I agree. And to me, where he really excels are those throws that are a big part of the NFL now, those short to intermediate throws across the middle into holes in the zone. Yep. And people say, well, he had great weapons at Alabama. Well, guess what? He's going to have great weapons in the NFL too. It's how you find them. And he does a good job of hitting those holes in the zone across the middle on those short to intermediate routes. So,
all right, we went with quarterbacks. Let's go on the defensive side of football, and if you want to, pick whichever position you think is really, really the one that just whammo. Okay, they're gonna pop you in their face and be ready for them, ready or not. Whether it's defensive line, linebackers, or safeties, or where do you think?
Again, I'm biased because I play defensive back and I also coach secondary. But
okay,
I think this is, we've had some franchise D linemen the last few years, the Bosa's, Chase Young. I don't think we have a franchise D line prospect this year. I think there's some that have really good upside, but I think overall position group wise, the strongest is probably the secondary this year.
Okay, yeah. It looks like, and from what I've got on my first round picks, there's some cornerbacks that's going to be going first round.
Oh, yeah. No, I've got in my top 5 defensive backs, I've got a safety and 4 corners. Okay. And I think the top 2 corners, Caleb Farley from Virginia Tech, and then Patrick Surtain, the second from Bama. You could flop those guys 1 or 2. What I like about them both is I think Farley has a little bit better. Well, he's got a little bit better closing speed. He's very good at closing on the ball once it's in the air, and as well as a receiver. He's a legit 4.3. I think Surtain is a little bit slower than that. Good route recognition. The one weakness with Farley is he struggles a little bit in press coverage.
Yeah.
But playing off coverage, diagnosing routes, and most important, closing down, which you need to be able to do in the NFL. I think he's the best out there. I think Surtain he's probably equally good. He's aggressive. He's probably a little bit better in press than he is in man off, but also very good at diagnosing routes. Best all around corner in terms of pass coverage, off and press, and then run support from the edge as well. So tackling, I think he's the best tackler
Certain
corners. Yes.
Okay. Who else you got in your top 5?
The safety is Travon Morig from TCU.
Okay.
And I like him because he's a safety that can cover. He started his career at corner and moved to safety later. And in Gary Patterson's defense, the safeties have a lot of responsibility. He could play nickelback in the NFL. He could play, I think, either of the safety spots as a physical player. Good size. He's about 205 roughly in terms of weight. So I think he fits into any scheme, either as a nickel or safety as well. So he's versatile. That's why I have him number 3. And then 4 and 5 are J.C. Horn from South Carolina and Asante Samuel Jr. from Florida State.
Yep.
And actually,
Darius was asking, who do you think is the fastest 40 out there coming out of this class? I personally think it's a receiver. You think it is Farley? I actually think it's one of the receivers out there. I think one of the receivers can run. Let's see, which one is it? Is it Tony from Florida? Kadarius Toney?
Kadarius, yeah.
Yeah,
he's fast. Now Farley, he was clocked at a 4.25, and he actually after he did that combine told people 4.3 because he didn't think they'd believe him that he ran 4.25. But I think he is the fastest defensive back, and there might be a couple of receivers up there. Tony is one, but I think he'll be at least top 3 fast or worse.
I got you. I'm gonna shoot out my first round picks. Is that all right with you?
Yeah.
And you can throw some alcohol down while I'm doing it. You guys may not agree with what I say, and if you don't, definitely shoot out why you don't agree with me. Number 1, I'm not sure you guys are going to agree with me here. Trevor Lawrence at quarterback. I got him going number 1. Number 2, and I think this is going to be part of a trade. I actually think the Jets and Houston are going to get a trade ongoing. I think the Texans will probably end up getting a couple of number 1s, and I think they're going to get Zack Wilson. So I think Zack Wilson's going to end up playing in Houston. That
sucks for him.
It has to really be bad. Yeah, but I'll tell you what, New York Jet fans, oh my Lord, if they get Deshaun Watson, isn't that the get of the last 25 years?
No, they might become the Cleveland Browns of 2021 because, I mean, think about it. They've got a lot of good young talent. They've got a stockpile of picks.
I was going to say a ton of draft picks, yeah.
Yeah, so they can give some away and still have some. And, that could make a big difference for them.
Now, the Dolphins have been all year long, all offseason, they've been talking about getting rid of Tua. I'm on the premise they're going to keep Tua. I like Penei Sewell from Oregon, the offensive tackle. They've got to protect Tua if they keep him. What about that pick? Do you agree, or do you think they go a different route?
I think Cincinnati's going to try and get Sewell. I think that's the big piece they're missing for Joe, too.
I think Cincinnati would like him, but I just don't know if he falls that far or not. The Falcons, I think Justin Fields is going to go right there. I think this is where he falls to. And you just said a little while ago, you think of all the teams out there, this might be the best fit for him?
I think for both him and Trey Lance, Falcons would be good because they get to sit under Ryan for a season at least. I think it would be a better fit for Lance, but I think it would be a very good fit for Fields too, for sure.
Bengals, I've actually got them getting a wide receiver. I'm thinking they're going to take the first wide receiver out there, Jamar Chase, and they've got to help the skill positions. If Burrow is going to get a lot better, I understand you got to protect him, but maybe they can go into especially we just heard today about the cap limit. So they're going to be teams are going to be cutting players left and right. They got to go after some offensive linemen. What do you think? Is Chase the number one receiver out there on the board?
Yeah, I think without a doubt to me. And I don't think Cincinnati could go wrong with either Chase or Sewell.
Yeah.
It's easy. I think it's easier to pick up a receiver off of the waiver wire than it is a good one to tackle. But I think they'd be happy with either one. And I'm going to answer Darius's question real quick.
Gotcha, man.
Better NFL career, Devonte Smith or Jalen Waddle. Here's the
depends on where they go.
Yeah, and the issue both of them are going to have is they're both small, both very. I think I'm going to say Waddle, and I'll tell you why. I think Waddle. They both have really good speed. I think Smith is a little bit faster, but I think Waddle is a better route runner, and in the right scheme where use him like a Julian Edelman type, where he's an inside receiver and you've got him running from the slot underneath and then occasionally down the seam. I think that's a good fit for him, and I think that would lead to him having a better overall career.
Yep.
Both are very athletic, dynamic players.
But both of them have every chance in the world of being all pro and being great receivers. It all depends on where they fall and what kind of contract they sign and who ends up coaching them and everything. All that makes a difference.
Yeah.
Number 6, Eagles fans do like this right now because you're not going to like what I'm going to say. Trey Lance. I'm going to say they go after Trey Lance. They are so crazy quarterback nuts out there. I don't think they have any idea what they're doing. I think the smart pick here would probably be Devonte Smith, but I really think that they have no idea what they're going to do. I think they go with a quarterback. What do you think the chances are that the Eagles, after all this debacle, go after a quarterback 2 years in a row? They get second round pick, but this year a top 6 pick. They don't have that very often. I just think they're going to go after Lance. What do you think?
Well, Cardinals kind of did that with Josh Rosen and Kyler Murray, right? But Rosen was a reach, though. He was never an NFL quarterback. I don't know. I think, God, I don't know why you would do that, because by trading Wentz, they're kind of signaling they want to give Jalen Hurts a shot. So I think if you're going to do that, it's better to get him a weapon, like maybe a Devonte Smith or,
even Pitts. Even Pitts wouldn't be a bad.
Pitts would be, the one thing there is they have a couple of pretty good tight ends already.
Well, they got rid of Zach Ertz. Ertz is gone.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
so based on their scheme, putting Pitts and Goddard could be good. I would maybe go after one of the Bama receivers, but it's interesting to see what they do. I think if they pick Trey Lance,
they got burned last year with their receiver they got, and then they went with a quarterback in second round. So this year they are all up in the air. They have no idea. I just get that feeling.
Here's the one problem I have with them if they did that. If you do get Trey Lance, now you have 2 developmental quarterbacks with ceilings and not where they need to be right now.
And you've drafted 2 North Dakota State players. And Philadelphia is not going to forget that either. If you end up blowing it on this one, you better get this right. So, but they love him. I know for a fact Howie Roseman loves him. So we'll see. I'm going with Lance. I think the Eagles fans would rather go a different route.
Yeah.
But I think they go that way. I really do.
I think if they really are hell-bent on taking a quarterback, it would do them better and Trey Lance better for them to trade up and get one of the other guys.
Or take Mac Jones.
Try to get
Mac Jones is ready. Mac Jones, like you said, I think he's as close to being NFL ready. But from all indications and all reports I'm getting out of Philly, Trey Lance is the guy they want. And I think they can get him at 6, no problem. What do you think?
You know what? I looked at one. I think it's McShay's draft projections. He's got Lance going at number 4 to the Falcons.
Well, I just don't see it. I really don't. We'll see. But that would be the 4th quarterback going already in 6 picks. Lions. I've got Devonte Smith going to the Lions to try to help Jared Goff and this team kind of, oh, woe is me, oh, woe is me. And to me, in that trade, I like the Lions. What they got a lot better than what the Rams got. Yeah, the Rams get a quarterback that's been around for 12, 14 years, but he's never won anything. We've never seen him in a big situation how he's going to do anything. So, for him to go to LA right now, I like where the Lions are sitting better than I do the Rams. How about you?
That will be the most dissected trade of the season, I think, because Stafford is an established quarterback, and I think the Rams are banking on putting him in a situation where he has a good defense and weapons.
Yep.
And so how he performs. And then Matthew Stafford or Jared Goff, I don't know if they're looking basically at a rebuilding project and they see him as a long-term solution. I think short-term, the trade will benefit the Rams. I think I agree with you. Long-term, it will benefit the Lions.
I think so, too.
I think Goff just needed a change of scenery. Actually, both of them did.
We probably did. Panthers, Mac Jones, quarterback. What do you think?
That's a great pick for them. If they decide to take him there, I think that is an exceptional pick. Like we both think he's probably the one quarterback that's under the radar. I mean, everybody sees him as a first round, but he could easily jump up, 3-4 years down the road. We could say, shit, Mac Jones was the second best quarterback in this draft.
Yeah.
We could.
Broncos, linebacker Micah Parsons from Penn State. What do you think?
That guy's a stud. I think the one weakness he has in his game is pass coverage, but he is.
How tall is he? Is he a short guy?
No, he's good size too. Okay. He is. I've got some notes on him.
Okay.
Yeah, no, his size and speed combo, he's considered elite. I think he's like 6'2", 240.
Oh, okay, so he's not like 5'11" or anything.
No.
Okay, so he's built.
And D gap to D gap as a run fill player, he is downhill and he hits and he blows up blockers. He's going to be an exceptional run defender. I love that pick for the Broncos. They'll have time to get him up to speed and pass coverage, but great pick there.
Cowboys. Now, this might be a question mark because I heard you talking about Farley a little while ago. I got him getting Patrick Surtain II, cornerback. We know they don't need a quarterback now, but their offensive side of football is pretty good for Dallas. What do you think about Surtain maybe going to Dallas?
I think they need a secondary player regardless of who it is. I don't think they could go wrong with Surtain or Farley. Both, like I said, those guys to me are 1 and 2. I think Surtain is maybe the more complete cornerback right now, but Farley and that speed, man,
Yeah. Darius, how many running backs will be taken in the top 3 rounds? I think in the first round, I only think 1 gets taken.
Yeah.
But I think in the second round, third round, it could be a few more. If I'm going to guess, I'm going to say 5. I'm going to say 5 in the top 3 rounds. What do you think, Anthony? Or do you think it's more than that?
In top 3 rounds?
Yes. I'm just going to say 5 because I think they can be gotten 4th, 5th, 6th. That's a position you don't have to go.
I think easily 5 get taken in the first 3 rounds.
Okay. How about
the only one I have
how about 10?
First round is Najee Harris.
How about 10? Do you think 10 go in the top 5? I mean, 10 go in the top 3 rounds.
I think 5 is 5. Probably, after the first 5, to me, there's a little bit of a drop off. So I think 5 to 7.
Okay. All right. New York Giants. I got him taking tight end Kyle Pitts. What do you think about that pick?
Be a great fit.
Yep.
And, it's apparent they're going to ride with Daniel Jones, right? Hopefully, Jesus. The running back, help me.
Oh, the running back for the Giants.
Giants.
Help with that, Gary. We're at a standstill here. We get help. We get help.
We've had too much alcohol. My
Oh
goodness.
yeah, that's it. Running back for the New York Giants. Running back, New York Giants.
Oh, for God's sake, we should know this.
Barkley, Saquon.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Thank you, Darius. Brain lock. Yeah, I think if he's back 100%, I think giving Jones a good weapon in the intermediate range, and you know, he's a great receiver. Linebackers aren't going to be able to run with him. He's a little weak on blocking, but you can split him out wide, match him up with either a linebacker or a nickel back. He's
or when you go three receivers, let him go completely wide and have one of your fastest receivers go slot. Then that leaves them just up in the air, and they'll probably have to put a safety on him.
No, he's a good mismatch in the passing game. I think that'd be a great pick for the Giants.
Yeah, I like that pick too. I think it's pretty good. 49ers. I'm going cornerback Caleb Farley. What do you think? Now I know they need offense.
Yeah.
But
there's been a lot of rumors about them trying to get Wilson too. I don't think they'll be able to, but I think Garoppolo, I think he's still got some mileage in him. I don't think that's a bad pick. And they do, you know, their secondary is starting to get old. I mean, Sherman, you know, he doesn't have a lot of tread left on the tires. He's still a good corner, but he's not
he's got a whole lot of mouth, but he's running his mouth while he's running by him a lot of times now.
Yeah. I like Richard. I like him a lot as a player and a person, but you know, reality is, he's on the downside. So that's a good pick, I think.
How about the Chargers here? Christian Darrisaw, Virginia Tech offensive tackle. Trying to protect the Chargers quarterback. What do you think, Darrisaw?
I actually have. I guess it depends what they're looking for. I have Rashawn Slater.
Do you like Slater better from Northwestern?
I do, but here's it. Slater is a better run blocker.
Yeah, so they're going to have to throw the football out there. They got to. Because you're in a division with the Chiefs. You're not most of the time in the fourth quarter, you're not going to be up 20 points against a lot of those teams out west. I think they're going to have to throw a lot. Darrisaw, I got to see him play a little bit. I like him pretty good.
I think he's a better pass blocker than Slater for sure. So if you're drafting for scheme, I think I think Darrisaw's a good pick for them in that scenario.
And right here, the Vikings. He's the next pick, Rashawn Slater from Northwestern. And what do you think?
They need a tackle too, so I think that's good. They're more run heavy, play action centric in terms of their offense, and I think a good grader at left tackle fits in. And what that does too is it will hold that defensive end. So what he lacks in foot speed, he'll be able to make up with punch and set. So it's not going to be a big thing with the offense they run.
And the NFC North, most of the time, runs the football a lot more than out there in the AFC West anyway, because they got the bad weather in Chicago and up north there. They just get the bad weather in Green Bay and all that.
I like your thinking there, though, Rob. You're thinking like an NFL GM, man.
How about the Patriots here? I know they did a lot of stuff on the offensive side, but how about the first linebacker in the draft, Owosu Kuomah from Notre Dame?
Yeah.
What do you think here for the Patriots?
I had I've got a couple of linebackers ahead of him, and if they're looking at him as a space linebacker, I think it would be better if they went with Zaven Collins from
Tulsa.
Yeah. I think that fits into his he's like a Brian Urlacher type linebacker. He's got good length. He can come off the edge. He can drop. I mean, he's really shot up. His stock shot up. So, you know, I think if that's what they're looking for, I like Collins better.
How good does this guy do in pass coverage?
He's
from Notre Dame.
I think that's probably well, he's probably best suited to a 3-4 defense, the Notre Dame line.
Okay. And play inside linebacker.
What's
Or
that?
will he be outside linebacker or inside?
He'll be playing. Actually, he'd be playing on the inside. He's more.
I would think so. I would think so too. I would think he'd be playing the inside, and maybe a lot of teams that like to play zone coverage probably would be good for him.
And I'm mixing him up with a kid from Georgia. He actually is a better 4-3 linebacker. The one weakness he has is his size. He's kind of small.
Yeah.
Well, he needs, he has to make up for in speed what he lacks in physicality, but he can go sideline to sideline. Really good linebacker there.
Now, I got the Cardinals getting, and this was before they ended up getting what? Defensive end, was his name Pay from Michigan.
He's got the best name in the draft.
Quidey Pay? Is his name Quidey? Huh?
Quidey Pay. I just call him Pay. No, I don't know that they need him. The one thing that Pay does though is he's more of a he's really good at setting the edge in the run game. If you're looking at pass rush potential on the edge, I think Phillips from Miami, Jalen Phillips, is a better prospect as a pass rusher. But I like Pay as a good an edge setter for the run, and you really don't need him to be a dominant pass rusher if you have Watt on the other side. So
they've already got the other guy, the other kid from Arizona had one that was 13 sacks too.
Yeah,
they had got it. Yeah, so. The thing of it is, we're seeing the defensive lines, and all you had to do is watch the Super Bowl. Defensive lines mean a lot this day if they can come after your quarterback, or if they can dictate you're not running this way. That it doesn't leave a lot for the quarterback.
I'm going to shoot this out there for. Maybe look to go inside and look at Christian Barmore from Alabama, and I'll tell you why.
I like him too.
He's versatile. He can play the 1-tech or the 3-tech. The 1-tech, he's going to not get driven off the line on double teams. He can move the pocket back, which helps your edge rushers because the quarterback has no place to step up.
And you can go 3-4 if you want to then.
Yeah. And his only weakness or red flag to me is he is sometimes inconsistent. So I don't know if that's a mental thing or preparation, but sometimes he's a world beater and sometimes he's like, But I think they couldn't go wrong getting him either to get that interior short of.
So how about the Raiders? Christian Barmore, defensive tackle. What do you think about him going to the Raiders?
He's my favorite interior guy, and like I said,
me too.
He's the best interior. He's not at Aaron Donald's level as a dynamic playmaker, but he can be very disruptive, and he can change your game plan by how good he plays the run.
I agree. Dolphins, Jalen Phillips, defensive end.
He's my upside guy, and he's a great story too because in 2018 he was at UCLA, got hit on his scooter, and then he had some concussion issues. He actually retired from football.
Okay,
and then he decided to come back, and he's got he's kind of a late bloomer, but he's got a great burst off the line, very athletic, good length, and he's kind of a complete edge player. He can play the run and the pass, a good pass rusher. I think the only concern with him is his injury history and if he's going to be able to hold up. But I like him. I wouldn't mind. Some people might look at that as a reach, but I think his upside potential is worth it.
Most kids, 19, 20, 21, 22, their healing process is a lot faster than it is 45, 50, 55 years old. And I've had broken bones when I was 18 that don't affect me at all now. So I was an athlete, but not a premier athlete. So I when I hear of things unless it's like a ripped shoulder or a torn total knee replacement. Stuff like that doesn't scare me as much as some play.
No, in the same. I played for so many injuries when I played football because you can't bounce back. And now, I stubbed my toe and I'm limping for 3 fucking days.
Washington, Jalen Waddle, wide receiver. What do you think about that pick?
If they're confident they have someone to throw to him, I like that.
Yeah, and in a minute, I'm gonna give everybody my quarterbacks that I think will be starting on week 1. I know a lot of people are gonna be like, Rob, you're out there, but I've always been out there. So hell, I'm not scared to risk it. You know what I'm saying?
Dude,
what's your friend's name?
This is Duke, and the one here in my videos is his sister, Daisy, and this is her. She's the one that always speaks up when there's videos going on,
especially when BYU's losing.
Yes, yeah.
Gotcha. Bears. Let's see if they go defensive line. Elijah Vern Tucker. What do you think?
You got him kind of. So
you don't like him that good?
No, I think he's the best run blocker. You know what? I could see that because he is a very good run blocker. He's versatile. He can play anywhere along the interior, I think. So
they got question marks a lot on offense, but I think we're still hearing about who's going to be here and there and all. That defense is still good, and they got to. I mean, they better stay good if they're going to have any chance of beating the top tier Green Bay, Tampa Bay's, Dallas, and maybe the 49ers.
No, I think if they want to go O-line, he's the best left. The guy I have after him probably wouldn't fit their scheme, and that's Dickerson from Alabama.
So that's right. He's an offensive lineman. This kid's an offensive lineman. That's right. Yeah. The Jets, and they getting this one from Seattle. How about Gregory Rousseau, University of Miami, defensive end? What do you think about that?
I like him. He's another one. He opted out of 2020 because of COVID, and the one knock on him is I think he's 6'7", so he's got great length. He uses hands real well, and people worry about his weight, and that is his weakness. If you can engage him as a tackle, you can drive him off the line, but he is so good with his hands. And the other thing too, in the NFL, most of the schemes inside outside zone where you're blocking horizontally versus attacking vertically, so he can use his hands to stretch a play like that. So depending on where he goes, that could be an okay fit, but I really like him as a pass rusher.
Gotcha. Steelers, how about Tevin Jenkins, Oklahoma State offensive lineman? What do you think?
I think that might be a reach for them.
Really? You think so?
Yeah.
I went through about 6 different places looking around, and the one thing that I kept hearing from Pittsburgh was, we've got to protect Big Ben if he's going to make it through the season. And I was just wondering at 24 if he was a reach or not. But I saw him play some this year. I thought he played pretty well.
No, he's not bad. I think if they want to, their O-line was solid as a team. I think if they're really serious about protecting him, they maybe move up and try. And they're not going to get Sewell for sure, but I think maybe they move up and try and get one of the other two, either
Darrisaw, somebody like that. I got you.
Or they look to free agency or the waiver wire and maybe go another direction.
Gotcha. Jags get this next pick. Leatherwood from Alabama, offensive tackle. What do you think about that?
He's their second best offensive lineman. And again, you're looking for tackles. I think Bama's best lineman was Dickerson. And I think, Dickerson played all 5 positions at various times, but he does not project as a tackle in the NFL. He's a guard or center. So, I think Leatherwood, if you really want to look there, that would be okay.
Yeah, we saw last year, you got to get your quarterback through the season before you worry about winning.
And Jacksonville's already got their QB, so with his second pick, why not take that and try and develop?
Browns. How about Zaven Collins of Tulsa, linebacker? What do you think about that?
If he falls to them, I think that is the steal of the round.
Really?
I already talked about him. I think he is the second or third best linebacker in the draft. So if he drops all the way there, I think that's a great pickup for the Browns, and that gives them another playmaker on defense too.
Gotcha. This one right here, I think to me is a pick that I think more about the way they pick than so I don't know. They may not go this route. This Ravens safety, Travon Morig of Tennessee. I think maybe they go this route right here. What do you think?
Oh, you mean TCU safety?
TCU. I mean, yeah, TCU. Not.
No, he's my number 3 rated DB, and I think he's good in his versatility because he's, like I said, he started as a corner, so you could slide him down and have him play the nickel or the safety. I think that's a great pickup for where the Ravens are in the draft for sure. He's a playmaker in defense and really best defensive back in the draft at run support too.
Cornerback for the Saints. How about J.C. Horn?
Another great pick. He's a top 5 corner, and really when you look at him compared to the top 2, Farley and Surtain, I think he is probably a little bit better overall in both press and off coverage than either of them. He's a little
fast,
huh?
But just not. Is he not as fast?
Oh, he's still a legit 4.4 guy.
Oh, is he?
I think his weakness is probably physicality.
Oh, okay. How tall is he? How tall is he?
He is. I think he's actually okay. His length's okay. I think he's 6 foot. Okay. The only one of the top corners that's under 6 foot is Samuel Jr.
Yeah, and I don't actually have him going first round. We only got 2 more first round picks. I've got the Packers going linebacker, Nick Bolton of Missouri. What do you think about that guy?
That's interesting. I guess it depends what they're looking for. I think. I
don't think they've had a playmaker at linebacker in 4 or 5 years, and I'm just wondering if that's the route they go.
I think he's more NFL ready. A guy I like better long term is Chaz Surratt from North Carolina.
Okay,
and the reason why is Surratt. I mean, he started his career as a quarterback, and he's only been playing linebacker for 2 years. His run reads are a little slow because, college at high school level, we give the kids a single read. College and up, you have to read triangles and, so you have to diagnose stuff really quick, and he's still learning to do that. Yeah. But I think as a long-term prospect, he's going to be a better playmaker.
And the final pick of the first round, the Bills. Oh, no, we got 2 more picks after that. Najee Harris of Alabama. What do you think about that?
Great. Bills?
Yeah.
I think that's the one big piece that their game is missing. And he's a 3-down back. Kid's a beast. He can catch out of the backfield. He's going to run between tackles. He can take 25 touches a game, and he's pretty solid in pass pro too. I think that really rounds out their offense if they can get with the outside weapons they have.
We got 2 more quick picks. The Chiefs, I think, they go in defense. Levi Onwuzurike, University of Washington.
The interior D lineman.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's not an end. He's a D tackle.
He is. Hold on.
He's a defensive end.
No, he is. He's okay. My bad. Yeah, no, he's I look at him as a single. He's not as good as Barmore, obviously. I think he's more a free technique to where he can play and disrupt the run game. I think if you put him at the one, he's going to have trouble with double teams because he's a little undersized. But he's very he's got a good burst off the line. Just needs to get stronger. So that he's someone they could work with.
Yeah, they got to start rushing the passer a little better. I think that's the one lacking thing with the Chiefs. They got to get a better pass rush. What do you think?
And he's so quick off the ball inside, he'll give them a little push inside on the pocket too.
And Tampa Bay is going to round it out with offensive linemen. What do you think? Jalen Mayfield of Michigan. What do you think about that?
I think that's a safe pick for them because they got their tackle last year with the Wirf kid from Iowa.
Yeah.
So, they're just kind of balancing, and they ran, and we talked before the Super Bowl, and I told you then that Tampa Bay had to run the ball, and they actually ran it really well, and I think that's the one piece of their game they have to round out. Brady can beat you throwing 40 times a game, but if he doesn't have to, why make him?
Gotcha. All right, now let's play. Who will start the first week? AFC, the Patriots at quarterback. At quarterback for the New England Patriots is?
I defer to you.
I say Jimmy Garoppolo. I like Jimmy Garoppolo going to the Patriots here. I think that's what happens. I think they left too much of a sour taste in their mouth with Cam Newton at the end of last year. I just don't think they take that chance. Garoppolo, what do you think?
If they can swing a deal for him, that's great because he did well in limited time when he was Brady's understudy, and he's familiar with Belichick's offense. So, I think whoever they get is going to struggle a little bit till they get them some more weapons on the outside. Let's be honest.
I agree. Dolphins, I got Tua.
I agree.
All right. Jets, Deshaun Watson. If he gets traded, I mean,
if they trade for him, I'm looking more at it's likely looking like it's going to be Zack Wilson to me.
You like Zack Wilson? Okay. The Bills.
I don't like him going there, but I think they're going to get him.
The Bills, Josh Allen.
Yeah.
All right. Steelers, Roethlisberger. Ravens, Lamar Jackson.
Oh yeah.
Browns, Baker Mayfield. Mm-hmm. And Bengals, Joe Burrow. Yes. All right. Colts, Carson Wentz.
I don't think Brissett beats him out. So yeah.
They can't go out here and try to draft another quarterback to put pressure on. They can't do that.
And you know what? I think Frank Reich is a good OC, and I think he'll be smart. He did. I mean, Philip Rivers had a good season last year, and they designed an offense that fit him. I think they'll do the same for Wentz.
Titans, Tannehill.
Yeah.
Texans, I got Zack Wilson. Now, who do you have with the Texans? And you got to have somebody, or do you think he stays?
They're really going to try and leverage Deshaun Watson for as much as they can get. I think in the end, no team is willing to give that. So I think Deshaun Watson is stuck there, unfortunately.
Okay. Jags, Trevor Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Chiefs, Mahomes. Raiders, I still got Derek Carr there.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about them. I think if one of the top 5 quarterbacks falls to them, they may. Yep. But Derek Carr is not a terrible quarterback.
No, I agree. He's not always had good offensive lines in front of him. He's always had weapons.
You look at
weapons mean nothing if you have no time.
They've got a good running back.
Yeah.
They've got Ruggs on the outside. He takes the top off the defense. So, yeah, I think they're fine staying with him.
Broncos, they stay with Locke.
I don't know who else they're going to get at this point.
I agree, especially that lower pick. Chargers, Herbert, I think they're set.
Now, he was one I had some questions on him with his consistency, but he's really blossomed. And I think, I think he actually outperformed Burrow this season.
Oh, I definitely think he was the best rookie quarterback last year all the way because he played all the way through. He got beat up a lot too, but he played well. Eagles, I got Trey Lance. Are you going with the kid?
I'm staying with I'm staying with Hurts.
Okay. Cowboys, Prescott. Giants, Daniel Jones.
Yes.
Washington football team, Sam Darnold. How about that?
That's a bold prediction, Rob.
Well, the thing is, if they lose their quarterback, I don't think Houston wants him. And I'm thinking he's going to be. I think he's going to be.
You think the Jets release him?
No, I think they're going to get something for him, but I don't think he get better than a third or fourth for him. That's my opinion. I don't know.
I agree, and quite honestly, Washington. It's not a position I would like to be in as their coach because they're kind of hamstrung. They're not going to get a good pick, and they're probably not going to pick up a top level trade, quarterback in a trade.
Yeah.
I could see them going after Deshaun Watson. I don't think they have enough to give, though. They don't.
Probably not. If they could move up and try to get Mac Jones.
I think Mac Jones is the most likely that they can snag in the draft. And I think that would be a good pick for them. I think, I could see, God, I don't know. I almost want to say Rivera might go after Cam Newton and try and salvage another year.
I hope not. I really hope not.
Cam has a good career, but the way he played just isn't conducive to long term.
Yeah. The North, I think we got pretty set. Aaron Rodgers at Packers, Goff with the Lions.
Yeah.
How about Trubisky with the Bears? What do you think? I still say he's going to be there.
I think so. And unfortunately, it'll still be Cousins with Minnesota.
And I say Cousins with Minnesota. South, Tom Brady with the Bucks. Saints, Andy Dalton.
Really?
That's who I like here. That's who I like. What do you think? Shoot a name out there that you like better. Bridgewater. I don't know.
Bridgewater. I know. Sean Payton. Sean Payton really liked Taysom Hill, but Taysom Hill is a quarterback that he just is lacking as a passer. He's just lacking that top.
And he's walking on a tight rope every time he runs.
Yeah.
He takes some hits.
And that's the thing. He's a BYU guy too. And he lost three. He had 3 season-ending injuries at BYU because
he takes way too many hits for me. I just think.
Well, the guy is pound for pound
is fight for him. Dallas is not going to fight for Andy Dalton. I don't think.
No. I think New Orleans might be just stuck letting Hill and Winston battle it out.
You're gonna love these last few picks I got. Falcons, I got Ryan.
Yeah.
And Panthers, I got Mac Jones because I think they draft him.
If they draft him, for sure.
Boy, oh boy. Let's start with this one. The Rams, Matt Stafford. Seahawks. I got Kyler Murray going to the Seahawks. I think Russell Wilson. I don't think Russell Wilson's going to be a Seahawk. I really don't. They've burned so many bridges with him over the last 2 weeks. I just don't see how he stays there. I really don't.
You think Arizona and Seattle switch quarterbacks?
I think he switch, and I think they give a sweetener to the Seahawks. I think Russell Wilson, and then they go give Kyler Murray and maybe a second to that's what I think. I think it happens. I just do not see Russell Wilson staying in Seattle with some of the verbiage that's came out from up there. I'm telling you, man, it's been really venomous, and I just don't see it. I don't.
I'll tell you what, I know Cardinal fans would probably be happy to get Russell Wilson because Here's my issue with Kyler Murray, watching his body language on the sideline. He is a dynamic athlete, great runner, but you can't make a career running in the NFL.
You can't. That's what I've said about Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson has got to learn to pass first, run second. You cannot run 60% of the time and throw 40% of the time and make a living. You can win a division, but you're not going to make it through the playoffs and survive. You're just not going to do it. You agree?
Oh, for sure. And, the other thing I don't like about Kyler Murray is I watch him on the sideline when things aren't going well. His body language is horrible. He's not engaged.
A whole lot like Cam Newton.
Yeah. And I think Russell Wilson, if Arizona, if they do trade,
Arizona gets a sweet pick here.
Oh, yeah. Russell Wilson with Hopkins and Fitzgerald's coming back, Christian Kirk.
And then that defense they're gonna have now, they're gonna be something to watch.
I think unfortunately Murray stays here, and I think Seattle might. I think they do what they have to do to Asajj Wilson and
we'll
keep him. So I think they stay the same.
This is the bombshell. The 49ers, Drew Brees,
really
comes back. I've been watching YouTube videos of him actually doing the sled and stuff like that within the last 2 weeks. Now, why is he doing that if he doesn't want to? And they have shown no interest. They've actually said he's not coming back to the Saints. He's got 1 more year in his contract. But I don't know. I'm telling you, I think he's a 49er. I really do.
The one interesting thing there, I don't know if you know this, but he does a lot of quarterback work with John Beck's operation out in California.
Oh, okay.
And that's actually where Zack Wilson drove there every weekend to train over the offseason.
Oh, okay.
So that there could be smoke there because that moves him out there, and then when he is done, he just slides right into that role, mentoring and coaching other quarterbacks. Possibility, I think San Francisco finds a way to keep Garoppolo, though, honestly.
We'll see. I've got a lot of movement still going on.
Yeah, you have bold predictions.
Bold predictions, that's right. NFC East. I'm going to give you my rundown. You give you your rundown, well, I'll let you go. I like Dallas. I like the Giants. I like Washington, then I like Philadelphia. I actually got Dallas winning 11 ball games. Shoot your 4 to me there. Who do you think NFC East?
I would flip Philly and Washington. I think if Dallas can shore up their defense, they've got the best offense in the division, hands down.
Yeah. The North, I got Green Bay 12-4. I like Chicago. I think Chicago's shoring up their defense even more. Minnesota, Detroit, 6-10. How you like your North? Do you still like your Pack?
Yeah. Flip Minnesota and Chicago.
Flip Minnesota and Chicago. I just had them 9-7, 8-8. So it's, it is a coin toss there. South, I like Tampa, 11-5. I still got the Saints winning 9 games. I don't know why. I got Atlanta going 8-8. Atlanta may do better than that. And then Carolina 5-11 with Mac Jones. What do you say about that?
That's so up in the air, depending on how the draft goes. I don't think anybody's going to beat Tampa.
I agree. And then out west, I'm banking on Breeze quarterbacking for the 49ers. 49ers are set defensively. Offensively, that's what they need. I got them going 12-4. I got Seattle second. I got Arizona third, and I got the Rams fourth. I've got Seattle passing, even with Kyler Murray being a better team, being a 10-win team.
I think if Seattle keeps Russell Wilson, DJ Metcalf is just such an ungodly target out there.
Yeah.
God. I think if they keep Russell Wilson, I think they will edge San Francisco. And I think actually that's the toughest division in the NFC, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, all those teams are capable of beating the other one any given week.
They are. They do it too. They do it. AFC, I've got Buffalo 11-5. I like Miami 9-7. Jets 5-11. Pats 5-11. Even if the Jets get Deshaun Watson, I'm saying they will only win 5 ball games.
I agree with you on all those. The one caveat there, if the Jets do by some miracle of God get Deshaun Watson, I think that's worth another 2 to 3 wins for him. But I don't think anyone's catching Buffalo.
All right, North, I've got Cleveland going 11-5. I like Baltimore 10-6, Cincinnati 9-7, Pittsburgh 8-8.
Another really tough division. Baltimore's solid. Cleveland is finally cracked through the glass ceiling, and they're going to be a team to watch. Pittsburgh defense is going to be stout, but the offense is fading, so I think they come in last. I think it comes down between Cleveland and Baltimore. And Cincinnati.
So you like my picks pretty good. You like my picks pretty good there, then.
Yeah, Cincinnati will surprise some teams. I think they're going to give teams trouble, but I still think they're third.
Carson Wentz goes from the outhouse to the penthouse. Indianapolis 10-6, Tennessee 9-7, Jacksonville 5-11, Houston, if they lose their quarterback, 3-13. Tell me what you think.
Houston is a trash dump of the week, 17 times running right now. I still think Tennessee is a team to beat. Tannehill is improved, and when you can set up your pass game off of Derrick Henry running the ball, you're in pretty good shape, and they still have a very capable defense.
I had 10-6, 9-7, so they're pretty close there. West, Chiefs 13-3, Chargers 9-7, Vegas 7-9. I got the Broncos 4-12.
Make them 3-13, and I agree with the rest.
All right, I got you, man. You know what? It's dinner time for you, bud. You're going to get in trouble if I don't let you go. Did you finish your alcohol?
I did.
I did not finish mine, so.
This, by the way, was a shot of Maker's Mark, shot of blackberry brandy, dash of bitters, cherry, and 2 shots of blackberry seltzer.
We got you. I had one for the first half, and I had one for the second half. Miller Lite, if you would like to sponsor my channel, all you got to do is call me at or contact me at my channel. Thanks so much, Anthony. I enjoyed it. Man, I'll tell you what. I think a lot of people learned a lot of stuff. I learned from you. Thank you for joining me tonight.
Hey, a lot of fun, man. I always love doing this with you, and thanks to our super fan, Darius.
Yeah. We had 4 and 5 in here all night, but Darius was telling us all night long what was going on. I may go live on my channel in a little bit, so Darius, don't give up on us yet. And I still want to get that football game. So as soon as it comes out, as soon as I'm able to get a hold of it, I'm gonna try to get it, and I'm gonna contact you, bud.
All right, buddy.
Thanks so much. You all have a great night, folks, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.